meteorites are dropping from the sky. You know shit is going down in One Piece. So let's start off with the whole Fujitora and Doflamingo versus Law thing. One of the big questions that came to my mind after reading this chapter and that particular part in general is, why didn't Law just lie? It's not like he's this upstanding citizen. It's not like he's averse from lying. So why not just lie and say, Straw Hat is my subordinate? The only reason I could see is either A, it helps out in his benefit even if it's slightly to stall for time or something in this battle, or B, he had a moment of, no, I gotta keep it real, I got pride. And if that's the case, that's the wrong time and place to have pride and, just keep it real, because right now you got a freaking Admiral and you got Doflamingo in your face ready to charge at you. Damn. So that whole thing really just had me a little skeptical, but the battle, oh my god. Fujitora's power, summoning meteorites and dropping them down on everybody, like not giving a shit. It really makes you wonder exactly what power he has, because we previously seen in the chapter when he met up with Luffy how he created that giant freaking gaping hole in the ground, and then now he creates a meteorite. Now, it's possible that he maybe has the galaxy fruit, and he can make black holes and meteorites freaking appear out of nowhere, or it could be that when he made that hole in the ground over there on the bar or whatever, he maybe made a meteorite appear and just create that hole without anybody realizing that there was a meteorite to begin with. So he either has the galaxy fruit or the meteorite fruit. Either or something even entirely different that just combines both of them. It's freaking interesting because it's like, he has a total different power. It's not magma, it's not ice, it's not light. It's something totally different and epic. We got a lot of content with this chapter because we also get a little bit more insight onto when and how Fujitora basically became a part of the Marines and became an admiral. It was kind of like a draft. They did this big ceremony to draft people in because they needed new faces. It explains why Fujitora wasn't in the Marine Ford War. It explains why he's kind of feeling a little bit noobish and kind of unclear of certain aspects of what's going on. It makes perfect sense. And we also get a name of a potential other admiral. The way Doflamingo said it seems as though the other admiral that replaced, because remember, we needed two. We already have Kizaru. We needed a replacement for Aokiji and Akainu. And it seems as though this Green Bull guy that was mentioned that he has incredible power as well might be replacing them. Freaking crazy. Can't wait to see this Green Bull guy because, Fujitora, a blind man, is kicking ass. And we also get an insight as well into a little bit more into Doflamingo's powers when he uses his strings to cut up the meteorite that's coming at him. Kind of explains a little bit more of when he fought in Marineford and he used his ability to chop off the leg. It kind of explains like, okay, he pretty much can manipulate the strings to do whatever he wants. And in this particular case, he used it to destroy the meteorite. And that also makes it seem as though, because, if he can freaking make a meteorite get chopped into bits, that freaking shows how strong those strings are and can kind of explain how he was able to glide in the sky using the strings. He could just create the strings out of nothing, out of thin air. They could just pop up and he could just jump on them because they're that solid and that, they're able to carry his weight. Kind of connects everything, gives a little more insight basically into Doflamingo's ability. Overall, that was definitely my favorite part of the chapter. That was freaking awesome. I really wish the entire chapter would have focused on that because we get that and then we kind of cut into other parts. The least important and probably unnecessary part of the chapter was when Frankie and the toy are running and they actually stole something. It was very unnecessary. That was probably the low of the chapter because we have a very big high with the battle and then that was kind of just like a breakaway. The other stuff with Sanji and Dancer Violet. I'm loving Dancer Violet. I'm loving Violet right now. It's like, I got a bad feeling because they're going to split up, and usually when people split up, especially a girl like that and she just betrayed them, she might not make it to the rendezvous point. That's my prediction. And if she does, she'll either come back as a, like she's going to be on the side of the Don Quixote family, or something, she's just going to come back bloody or not come back at all and get captured, which is a shame because I think Violet is awesome, but the fact that she's giving Sanji a little play really shows that she might, not make it back, and that would really suck because I'm liking Violet so far. I'm not saying Violet for Straw Hat or anything, but I'm liking that character right now, and I want Sanji to get some. Sanji for getting some 2013, 2014, baby. Let's go. Another part of the chapter, because this chapter was kind of broken up into different parts, and the final part was definitely the Usopp and Robin part with the dwarves, basically. Usopp, I love that he finally went back into that lying mode and it freaking worked out. And for people that skip Skypiea, skip Jaya, say, oh, I'm not watching that, that's boring. you don't know who Norland is. And to see that Oda just threw that in there, it gives you a little bit more of like, hey, you know, he's actually pretty relevant to the story in one way or another. And he came to this particular island in New World, so he's a pretty formidable guy. And I thought that was really interesting. And then Usopp saying, hey, I defeated 50,000 fishmen with my hockey. And I'm the descendant of this Northern guy. Classic Usopp line. Love that part. Definitely the comedic part. Awesome chapter, honestly. You got the battling part. You got comedy. You got a little romance. Everything you need from a One Piece chapter. The only downfall of it, I feel as though the Frankie stuff was very unnecessary. I mean, it's cool to see Frankie and see what he's up to and see where he's headed towards, but it was really unnecessary. Kinemon showing up next to Frankie is like, exactly what was he doing? Because Kinemon, I still don't trust him or his son. There's definitely something that he's hiding that he's not exactly saying. So I wanted to know exactly, you know, what was he doing? What was he exactly doing off screen? That was something that caught my eye. But overall, we got a lot of content with this chapter. Definitely got to give this one again 4.5 out of 5. The only small part of the chapter that I thought was disinteresting and unimportant and irrelevant to what was going on was the Frankie part. So many questions. First of all, why didn't Law lie? Would have saved his ass big time. What is Fujitora's power overall? You know, what exactly is his ability? And just, how the hell is Law going to get out of this? You know, I'd imagine the Straw Hats are eventually going to make their way towards the battlefield because Sanji is heading towards the factory, but they might, you know, get word of what's going on. And overall, it's just, right now, we're in chaos right now, and I'm loving it because this chapter is like so much going on and giving you a bit of everything that you need in a chapter. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for this crazy battle that's going on. Law, how you gonna make it? I don't know. Ooh, I can't wait. Up for the world, and as always, people, have an awesome day.